Yo, what's up? My name is Maxwell. I'm going to show you how I made Sinner by Shaya Zamora. I know what you're thinking. What the f is this guy doing in a storage room? I'll do you one better. I don't even know whose house I'm in.
Oh, brother!
Why don't we just dive in? So this is actually a pretty easy production, right? So you got piano, you got a choir, you got some pads, a bass, drums. That's essentially it. I'll start with the piano. I probably won't go through the whole thing, just because it's pretty redundant. I'll show you probably the part that everybody's looking forward to is that snippet that he posted that kind of went. So I'll kind of show you that a little bit. I'll show you some other layers throughout the project. But my goal is to kind of make this short and sweet. I'm sure once I kind of show you the breakdown of this, you'll kind of get the idea. Like I said, it's pretty simple. It sounds probably way more complex than it is. So, I'm sure as I go on, you guys will see, that it's pretty much the same thing throughout the whole song. So the piano is just keyscape, right? Just played it on my MIDI keyboard, muted these, of course, for this section to get those pauses. Then I quantized it, make it sound cool. And this is what it sounds like. That was poorly timed, but you'll notice these here as well. Those were just my sustain pedal when I was playing this, and that's what kind of gives it that realism, right? So you see, did you hear that? That's the cool thing about this plugin, Keyscape. And I know that's a lot of plugins, okay? I get it. But it got me to the sound that's on the record, so eat it. That's just the wing upright is all I'm using. I have it on dark characteristic. I don't know if I mess with the settings at all or not, but I literally have a plethora of plugins. I don't even know if that was the right word, okay? I'm a music producer, not a wordsmith.
Do you see me f***ing laughing?
So after that, I just have a choir. I believe I use these MIDI, but I think it was on the Jacob. I think it's called the Jacob. Yeah, the Jacob Collier. I think that's how you say his name. I have it on the setting. What I mean. And that sounds like this. Okay. You get the idea. So I bounced at the audio to chop it up like that, so it's a hard stop, right? So when you pair it with the piano, way more dramatic, right? Just kind of doing stuff like that to like make it sound a lot cooler than it probably is. Because when I had the reverb kind of hang over that gap, it was just kind of, because then he had his vocals that were reverbed over that gap, and it just kind of got to be a lot. So I just kind of let his vocals be the forefront. After that, you just had a sub bass. I mean, that's pretty sine wave sub bass with some distortion. Using black box. Let's see, multiband just to kind of control the low end a little more. And then I had electric guitar. That's just playing, literally it's all these layers are playing the same chords that everything else is. It's just layering. That's one thing I can recommend to just kind of get your production sounding a little less weak, is just layering, okay? But the layers got to make sense, So I just have that and then the same thing, right? So acoustic guitar, I don't know what I'm doing. Acoustic guitar. Pretty shitty sounding, right? Pretty awful. The tuning's not great, but it almost kind of like contributes to the vibe that this song is. It isn't really perfect. It's kind of like that imperfect organic feeling. You know what I mean?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So really, with all oh yeah, so then I have a crash, and then all I did was bounce down the crash, reverse it to kind of give it this little that little swell up. It just helps to kind of make it more dramatic. Um, and then these I use in almost all my productions. It's just an impact. You can use whatever one you like. I think I use the virtual right one on this. It just makes a huge difference in that transition. I'll show you. So if I were to play without it, still cool, but watch with it. Right? Dude, it just kind of makes it way more impactful. Hence, impact. That's really the meat and potatoes of it all. Um, and then it kind of goes into this section that originally, I'll play it for you. So that part was actually, when I first did it, was intended to be the start of the second verse. But when Shaya had recorded on it, he extended it to be a second chorus. Or not a second chorus, but the second part of the chorus. Because I originally intended this to be the first chorus and that's it. But he kept it going here and it worked. And I'm glad he did it that way. Same kind of stuff going on. Just added, I think, a guitar lead. Really dirty, a little out of tune. But again, that stuff just kind of helped with that eerie vibe that this song had. Looks like I just added another stomp. Impact, nothing crazy. I don't even know how much that really did. Now this is my prized possession. I can't even remember where I got this from. It was on my computer and I pulled it in. And if you've been following my channel, you've probably heard this on most all of my instrumentals. That sound is just so cool. You could probably get that just by droning a note and then throwing a boatload of distortion on it. But that's just kind of what I got. You know what I mean? And then it just goes into the second verse, more of the same stuff, choir, piano. The drums just get a little more layered. So, I got this. More out-of-tune guitar. Not my best playing, but I'm just gonna blame it on this being a imperfect production. Yeah, guys, that's really the bread and butter of this all. Piano, choir, bass, electric guitar. I think I brought over these that really didn't even do anything. You probably can't even hear those in the final product. Real difference here, more layering. So I layered the drums even more. I added this snare. It's a freaking huge snare, dude. Huge. And then we added these just. I actually don't think that ride cymbal made the final version. This snare though, here's another argument for layering, right? So if I were to just play this as it was, right? It sounds fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but what you want in production is to build, right? You want each section to be a little more. either something different, a little higher energy, or something different. I am a huge fan of what I coin as the slow build. Um, so I love when things start really low energy and just get bigger and bigger throughout the song. So squirrely brain, dude. I don't even know if I played it with the snare again, but. And then it just goes into the kind of bridge outro section. It's just different chords, same instruments. I think Sammy's horns come in here. This thing too with his voice. This is not the mix version, by the way. This is just out of my project. Can't remember who did the mix, but incredible on his voice. So I took this and I added on this reverb, vocal chamber 4 medium. I did something to change it. Wow, looks like I have the mix almost all the way up. But this kind of made it a little more interesting at the end, right? So let me show you without it.
You dug too deep in my soul. You turned me to a wretched soul cold.
So it's dry, it's pretty dry. I think it's got some, slap and a room verb on it. But adding this on makes it so much more interesting at the end. Ready? Stuff like that too can really help a production. Maybe it's not within the instrumental; it's with the voice. That's part of production too, vocal producing. Finding ways like that to just kind of help it be a little less stale. Reverb is a great way to do that. You can throw some delay on there. Another cool way to do that is just up slap delay, and then let me see if I can see what that sounds like.
Oh, you dug too deep in my soul. You turned me to a wretched soul cold.
See, it kind of gives it more of like this weird like fluttering between the ears. That the reverb, if you kind of want that farther away sound, reverb's really the way to go. You don't have to use this one. This one's just really good. It's probably one of the best roomy reverbs I've found. But you can use any reverb. Just put it on a low time, and then pull up the mix knob until you got it where you like it. That's really it, guys. Nothing really too crazy. Nothing too exciting, to be honest. It's just all about how you layer stuff. I think the idea counts more than what's you throw at it. You know what I mean? Because this only had, not even 72 tracks. Because some of these aren't even being used. So it's not a whole bunch of tracks. And I think I even compounded them, or combined them rather, when I sent them off to mix. It's the idea that counts, it's as much as you've probably heard that. This is my first time ever doing a video like this. So it's probably a little rough, probably a little sporadic. You can tell me why you fucking hate me in the comments, and it'll motivate me to do better. If I decide to do more of these, if you guys even want more of these, you can let me know, and I'll do my best to try to get better at recording this. I literally wrestled with OBS for like 45 minutes because I could not figure out how to get my audio and video to play at the same time. I'm a boomer. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope it was somewhat entertaining and helpful. But maybe I'll do one of these again. Maybe I won't. We'll see. But if you guys really want it, I'll do it. Anyway, I'll see ya. Until next time.